Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
It's not often that I get to come on here and talk about a Calgary Flames win. I've already seen the tweets. People are tagging me saying, hey, and Conrad, I know you're in here. You're one of them saying, hey, is it really a game over stream? Like, is this real? Auddie's covering a win? And I think it's because it was an afternoon game, not a night game. But either way, welcome to Game Over Calgary on SDPN Sports. My name is Auddie James. We got a good show lined up for you today on the heels of a Calgary Flames victory, 6-3 over the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Think you know what way it's going to go? Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of our many prop bets, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. And if you or anybody you know have any issues with gambling, please be sure to check out the show notes. There's lots of resources in there for you to get help and other people to get help as well. And without further ado, bring in the guest. The kid's back. AP, my boy, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We get to talk about a big Flames W. It's always it's kind of nice to see the Lightning lose. I mean,
I know everybody loves that.
I like to see this, man. I like the Flames win. Good game, man. They played a great team game, so we got lots to talk about.
Lots to break down and lots to talk about. It was a lot of things happened in this game. A lot of good things happened. But I think the biggest storyline coming in, by the way, happy Hockey Day in Canada to those who celebrate. Lots of, but when I say lots, every Canadian team in action today, and I believe the festivities taking place in Owen Sound. So if you're watching from Owen Sound, hello, and hope everybody's enjoying the festivities out for Hockey Day in Canada. Okay, like I said, though, the biggest storyline coming into this one, a lot of Flames fans happy, man. Jacob Pelletier, the young French stud, finally makes his NHL debut. We got to see a rookie lap. We got to see, we'll get into his numbers in a little bit, but yeah, a lot of people excited for the kid. I know damn well I was when I saw him taking rushes on the fourth line a couple days ago, at practice, and they were pretty tight-lipped with it. They said, you know what, we'll find out. You'll find out on Saturday if he's in the lineup, but his excitement in interviews pretty much spoiled it, saying that, you know, he was pumped and all that stuff. But your thoughts on the young Jacob Pelletier's NHL debut?
Yeah, he looked really good early on. Of course, he unfortunately didn't get a ton of minutes.
No,
that's something we can talk about in a little bit. But he's having a pretty good season with the Wranglers. 34 points, 31 games. And he looked quick. Like, the guy has got some wheels on him. So
yeah.
I was like, okay, this guy, he looks NHL ready. Like, he looks like he's an NHL player. He's not a guy that's going to hang around in the A very long. I think that he's a guy that definitely deserves to be in that Flames lineup. So I was excited. The guy back checks. He's not afraid to get a little physical. We've seen a pretty massive hit. Like, he's
that one in the corner there.
Yeah,
that was nice.
He's pretty exciting. I liked his game, and I'd like to see him play some more minutes for sure. I know it's his first game. They're probably not wanting to throw him out there too much, but I think that with the way he played, he deserved a little bit more time. But again, I'm not an NHL coach. I'm just a guy that talks hockey. So I was just excited to see him go, and it's always good for the family too. So good on him, and congrats to him. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it was nice that his family was in attendance at the Scotiabank Saddledome tonight. Mike Gould from Flames Nation confirming that he spoke to Jacob's dad prior to the game. So glad to see the Pelletiers were able to make it out on such short notice. But talking about, we'll stay on the topic of Pelletier for a little bit. We talked about, or you brought up his ice time, 6 minutes and 50 seconds time on ice. Just breaking it down here. At a 0.212 expected goals, one shot. What else? Lost two faceoffs. That's just because Trevor Lewis got booted from both of those faceoffs. And
yeah,
I think he was against, I can't remember who it was. Braden Point, maybe. I can't remember.
Come on, you're facing Braden Point, dude. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna lose that draw. So.
Yeah, exactly. And two ozone starts, just breaking everything down. There's a lot of good things. But what impressed me the most on moneypuck.com, for all the analytics nerds out there, Jacob Pelletier led the Calgary Flames tonight in his 6 minutes and 50 seconds of ice time in expected goals percentage at 90%. And if you look at the Pelletier, Walker Duehr, and Trevor Lewis line, they ended up leading the entire team in expected goals for percentage. So some good things to take away. Obviously, he didn't get on the score sheet. He was involved, though. Like, he had a couple pretty good looks. There was a few times where I was coming out of my chair watching this game, ready to, go grab a poutine or something to celebrate the French King's first goal, but we'll have to wait for that for another night. But he was involved. I think that, like, you put it perfectly with he's got wheels. He back-checked well. There was one shift in particular that stood out to me when I think it was Tanev who got caught deep in the offensive zone. Pelletier comes back and actually makes a nice little poke check at his own blue line to send the puck the other way. He gets off the ice, and then I think it was the Dube line came out, and they had a nice little shift the other way too. So would you agree, disagree? A pretty solid outing, first performance at the NHL level for Jacob Pelletier?
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. Like I said, I just really liked his effort level. He was quick. He was on the puck. He wasn't giving guys a chance to really, think. Like, he was on them. Like like that back check specifically, like both of us mentioned there. He just looked like he was like, okay, like if I'm not gonna have the puck and I'm seeing a guy go the other way, I'm not letting him get too far. I'm gonna make sure I'm on that puck, and make sure that puck goes the other way. So again, the speed was really good. That chance he had in the slot, like I texted you right away. I'm like, I thought he was gonna bury that. Like he looked really good. He looked just like he belonged. And sometimes you'll see some players go out there. They look nervous. They look like they need a few shifts to get into it. I mean, thank God he didn't need a few shifts to get into it, because he barely, probably would have got a chance to even play those minutes he played tonight.
Yeah.
But he got in there right away, looked comfortable, and chatting it up with the boys on the bench. I'm excited for him, and I hope that this isn't just one of those things where we've seen what he has for a little bit. We'll send him down, whatever. I just want him to get some extended time, and I mean, hopefully he gets a look on that second line at some point, just to see what he's got. Give him that little chance to see what he's got.
And I got a little trigger happy when this game was taking place. It was on the heels of a penalty kill. And the forward line that was out there was Pelletier, Kadri, and Huberdeau. And I was like, man, has Sutter seen that? Like, has Sutter seen enough from Pelletier that he's going to let him, try to go out there and have an audition on the second line? And it was just, like I said, on the heels of a penalty kill. So it wasn't anything extended or anything like that. So we did see a little bit of, we saw it was like, I think 15 seconds or so of them together. But yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you. I think that's not that he's wasting away, because that line did some pretty good things. All in all, we saw the numbers tonight or today, I guess, with Trevor Lewis and Walker Duehr, who's been impressive as well. So another thing too, I just wanted to make mention. This was actually more so for you. I don't know if you saw it on the broadcast or not, but I remember talking about it the last time the Flames played Tampa on this show, because our good friend Pat Steinberg over at Sportsnet 960 The Fan brought it up when I interviewed him on a podcast a couple years ago. The Calgary Flames in 2011 had the 57th overall pick, and they selected Tyler Wotherspoon. Any guesses as to who the next pick in 2011, the 58th overall pick, was in the 2011 NHL draft?
Dude, there's no shot. I have no idea.
Just some guy named Nikita Kucherov, who the Calgary Flames.
He's good.
Yeah, he's all right. He's got a couple cups. He knows how to do his thing out there. But I remember Pat, and I figured maybe the listeners and viewers would appreciate this little like side tidbit, like a side storyline. I remember talking to Pat about it, and he said, from what he gathered about that draft, I can't remember who he was speaking to, one of the scouts or AGM or something like that. The Flames thought for sure that they were going to be able to get Kucherov in like the 4th round. They thought that he was going to drop like significantly, because they didn't think that I can't remember like the exact reasoning, but it was like, and James, if you're in the chat too, this is when we talked to him on our show, and yeah, they were convinced that Kucherov was going to go in like the 4th round, so they were going to save that pick. They really liked Wotherspoon, and they didn't want anybody else to snatch him up, so they took him. And then the next pick after, when they thought he was going to drop a couple more rounds, Nikita Kucherov goes to
Wow.
the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the rest, as they say, is history. But yeah, a missed opportunity there for the Calgary Flames, and I figured you might get a little kick out of that one.
Yeah, that's like awesome and brutal at the same time for
Yeah.
Flames fans. I'm like trying to like poke my eyes at the chat here to see like what they're saying, but yeah, Kucherov, man, wow, that would have been something else. I can't I can't picture him in a Flames jersey, but I'm sure a lot of people would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, so James with the point here, he brought up they thought they'd get Cooch and then Gaudreau after that. So that was the same draft that they took Johnny Gaudreau as well. So, yeah, little interesting tidbit. Not to add salt in the wound, we're here to celebrate a win here on Game Over Calgary, 6-3 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning today because it's Hockey Day in Canada at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Joining me today, my good pal AP. Let's head over to the chat. You brought that up. We'll talk to some of our friends in the chat right now. We'll start with where are we here? Let's start with Connell. A few Flames emojis, and then Conrad follows it up with, as I asked on Twitter, is it even legal for the Calgary Flames to win when Auddie is hosting Game Over Calgary? You would think that the amount of times I've hosted Game Over Calgary on the heels of a loss, that it would be it was pretty much illegal, but. You know what? We're happy. We're taking it. I don't have to
Big
break
W.
out big W's. That's what Daryl says. That's when I'm impressed. W's. W's. That's when I'm impressed. So, hopefully the coach is impressed. I'm excited to see Coach Sutter's presser because I hope someone asks about his thoughts on Pelletier, and I hope he gives him credit because he sucks at giving credit when credit's due. And it is what it is. We're so used to Daryl Sutter now that it is what it is. But, like, it would be really nice if he said something like, hey, look, maybe he didn't get as much ice time because special teams was a factor. There were a lot of penalties and a lot of penalty killing that had to go on. He saw a little bit of power play time when Lucic was serving his 5-on-5, or his 5-minute for fighting, with Ian Cole there. So he saw a little bit of that power play time. But I really hope that it's a nice response from the coach, and I hope someone in the media asks about Pelletier's performance. So that's yet to be seen. I haven't watched that yet. Fantastic wins for the Flames. Thanks for spanking the Bolts, says Tim. Oh, Connell correcting me. That is right. The draws were against Belmar. That's right. Not Belmar, not Point. Super excited for the Wranglers to call up. Oh yeah. I got last Game Over Calgary with a fake name. Somebody put a fake name in the chat, like a fake prospect, but it was like a meme name, like bend over or something like that. Like, no. So I got. Now Insider J Money is in here trying to get me going again. So what did he followed that up with? Drafting Russian stars late is normal. Kucherov 58th. Kaprizov 5th round, Panarin undrafted. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I'm on saying Eric Francis asked what he thought of his game. He asked what number he was, grabbed the game sheet, and read his stats. 21 years of age, and he's got a long way to go. If that's the actual
no shot, there's no shot.
I don't think Amon. I believe it. I believe
really.
It. I believe
that
it.
Would be brutal.
I'm going to find that because if that's a legit Eric Francis tweet, and I don't have any reason to doubt him on, I think his reporting is, yeah, here it is. I just scrolled through Twitter, found the tweet. Here it is from Eric Francis. Daryl Sutter just can't bring himself to buy into the city's excitement over Jacob Pelletier's debut. Asked him what he thought of his game. He asked what number he was, grabbed the game sheet, and read his stats. Followed that with a quote, 21 years of age. He's got a long way to go.
I actually can't believe that. I thought that was a troll job. I really thought that was fake. I'm sorry. There is no way you can say that about an exciting prospect. Like, there's no shot. Did he watch that game? In the limited time, that kid was impressive. Very impressive. There is no shot. A long way to go, really. Okay.
I don't know why.
Pretty damn good.
I don't know why this man is so allergic to giving credit and why he's so allergic to. Yeah, and like that was a screenshot of the tweet. I just went to Eric Francis's official Twitter. It's verified by him, and that's That's fucking deflating, man. That is so deflating.
It is.
Like I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. I have such a problem with this organization and its lack of fucking hype around its own people. Any other team, if this were the Leafs, and I'm going to bring it to Leafs land because the powers that be, and I know exactly where your allegiances stand. If this were the Leafs, if this were any other team outside of Calgary, they would be hyping the shit out of this. They'd have pregame graphics. They'd have "Welcome to the NHL, Jacob Pelletier." If this was Montreal, the young French phenom coming up, not phenom. I'm not trying to paint Jacob Pelletier in the same brush as some other young up and coming players, but like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That's the response from the head coach after, like, where's the criticism on Milan Lucic? Where's his criticism? Like, this guy's just free to go do whatever the hell he wants. Jacob Pelletier comes in, does some pretty good things, arguably playing in a role where he could be elevated a little higher in the depth chart.
Yep.
And this is that's the response from the head coach.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was gonna say it's so funny you brought up Lucic. Like, I mean, Big Luch is probably like skating from Tampa. Like, it seems like when he's trying to get a puck in the other zone, they're dumping the puck in, and I'm waiting like 15 seconds to see where Lucic is, and yet we're gonna talk about this kid who had an impressive game and be like, yeah, like who is he basically? He could care less.
I have such a fucking problem with his quotes. People used to think they were hilarious. Whatever. The old Tortorella's responses and you get great quotes from these guys. They're fucking hilarious. It's bullshit. The quote about Huberdeau having to go take a shit earlier on in the year when he was on the table getting worked on because he was hurt. And now this I'm at a loss for words. We should be celebrating this win, and I get it. And someone saying negative reinforcement the Sutter way. That's bullshit. I don't care. Like, negative reinforcement, like it's fucking bullshit.
Working.
It's
not working because they're fighting for a playoff spot. It's not working.
The Avs are getting hot at the right time right now. They're getting people back from injury. They got one game in hand of the Flames, and after last night, they were tied for points.
Yeah, exactly.
The Avs play again today.
And the Avs, they always find ways to win. But
they find ways to win, and they find the people that know how to win.
Yeah,
they're going to be busy at the deadline.
Exactly. I don't know. This Flames team is very interesting because I still think they're better than the way they're playing, and there's some individual guys, that we could talk about. But then it goes back to Sutter, again having Lucic on that second line. Like, I don't understand. Like, is he trying to protect like Huberdeau or Kadri or something? Like, Kadri doesn't need to be protected if something goes down. That guy's punch people's faces for fun. He faces in for fun. He doesn't care. Huberdeau, like, whatever. If you're trying to protect him, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if that's even true.
Like, what's no? But I get what you're saying. Yeah, what's he doing there? Like, are you really telling me that Huberdeau is gonna get better playing with Lucic?
No,
there's no shot.
No, and I know Huberdeau's like snake bitten, seemingly, but I don't know.
No, you can't play him with Lucic. Well, how's that gonna help?
And the most frustrating part about it, I don't know if you saw it after the Huberdeau empty net goal. Because Lucic was the one who just rifled the puck into fucking oblivion, into the offensive zone, and all Huberdeau had to do was just pick it up and he skated it into the net. He didn't even shoot, but they panned over to the bench, and Daryl Sutter just came up and put his arms around both of them and just gave him the old talking to, and they both grinned. So that was a good conversation, and he's going nowhere. He's staying right. He's parking his ass on that second line, and. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I said, we should be celebrating this win. I'm happy with it, but that doesn't excuse just because we can be happy about a win doesn't mean we can excuse bullshit quotes like that from Daryl Sutter. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Bring in Bruce Boudreau's about to lose his job in the most ridiculous possible way. Bring this man in. Bruce, give me Bruce. There it is. Bruce, I fucking love that guy. I love that guy. Some more comments down in the chat line. By the way, 48 of you in here. This is impressive as hell. I told AP before we came on. I said, This is an afternoon game. I've never really done an afternoon game before. I wonder what the turnout's going to be. You guys are blowing it out of the water. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you want more people to swing in, just share this stream link on Twitter and tell your friends to come in and chat some Calgary Flames hockey. And like the stream too. Bump that algorithm up. Chris saying, honestly, wouldn't mind the Flames trading their first this year because whoever they would draft with it wouldn't get to play anyways. Well, that's not true because they would just go find some guy who's projected to go 346th and but he's 6'7", from Viking, Alberta, or like somewhere where there's a big farm, and he plays the game the right way. So they would find a way to draft someone in the first round who would play. So, let's see here. Yeah, shocking take from Sutter. Sutter's going to drive away all the Flames' young players. That one from Amon. Mamere says, "Wash your mouth."
Oh my goodness.
Désolé. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God,
That's
Mamere.
amazing. Mamere's in the house.
hilarious.
Oh, Sutter really
Thanks
has.
for watching.
Yeah, thank you, Mamere. Sutter really has the ability. She probably hopped on right when I was talking the most smack
Yeah,
about the
you
Daryl
effing-
Sutter quote. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
That's great.
Sutter really has the ability to always make me depressed even after a win. That's the quote of the night, I think. That's so true. No celebrating until Lucic has kernels stuck in his teeth from eating popcorn, I would
my
imagine.
goodness.
Surely management have to put a leash on Sutter's comments. No, I don't think they will because, quite frankly, I think like if I'm Brad Treliving right now, he's on an expiring deal. I'm dipping after this year. Re-signing Sutter to a 3-year
100%.
extension was not Brad Treliving's choice. That was Murray Edwards getting involved.
Yeah, there's some people in the comments defending Big Sutter there. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll read it because I've actually gone back and forth, I believe, with this. Yeah, this is the same guy. I'll read those in a second. But if you know what, not to just keep it all in SDP land, but if you guys go back and watch, I believe it was the January watch or listen to January 11th or 12th episode of the SDP. The boys spend a good amount of time talking about the Flames and just like airing out their concerns. Like it's nice to hear, what I'm trying to get at is it's nice to hear from outside people out of the market who aren't as connected to the Calgary market that they are concerned as well. And that, hey, maybe these things aren't working and maybe something should be done about it, but nothing's being done about it. So it's nice because like Adam had a good little rant about it. Steve and Jesse were putting in their 2 cents. But Adam kind of led the conversation there. So I've been going back and forth with him. Anytime something happens, I'm like, Adam, please, you got to check this out. Talk about this on the next SDP. And it's nice to see it. So here's the comment I want to get to. Reminder that Andrew Brunette is still not coaching a hockey team. And we saw what he did last year with the Florida Panthers. Good point there by him on. All right. Nah, man, Sutter shouldn't be getting blame. Flames have had subpar goaltending and their players cannot score. Look at their power play. Like 25th in the league. They have the most OT losses. Coach has little to do with the power play and OT record. Also overall goaltending. Coach can't affect that. I'm not even going to touch that comment because I'm sick of the Daryl bootlickers. So, yeah, Eric, that's fine, man. You're allowed your own opinion, but Daryl Sutter has. I'm not saying he's burning this place to the ground, but like, I don't think he's. I'm not gonna get into it. I've done nothing. Everyone listen to me. I don't know if this is somebody chirping me or chirping Sutter. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's a follow up to that. We have 0 rings and Sutter has 2, and I have a little bit of a comment on that, which. You're very right. I don't like Auddie and I definitely don't have Stanley Cup rings. It's unfortunate, the grind that we've been on. They don't give it out for YouTube streams, but I wish they did. But anyways, the thing is about Sutter. Nobody's saying that this guy was never a good coach. Like nobody's saying that Sutter is not a guy that has done it. He's won, whatever. Props to him. He's done a fantastic job in his career. But sometimes old philosophies don't work in the new age of the game. Sutter's philosophies of putting a guy like Lucic on the second line to help a top 5 player in the game at some points get more goals isn't going to work. So I don't understand why that would be a good thing. I think there's a lot of things that he can't help. That's very true.
Yeah.
but there are a lot of things that he can help, and he's not doing it. So they need to figure it out because this team, again, like you said, people from outside looking in. I'm concerned as a Leaf fan about the Calgary Flames because they're a much better team. Like I would have predicted them to be a top 3 team in the league this year. They have a wicked team. They've got like a great squad. Their blue line, like everything is so good, but they're not there. There's missing pieces. So again, like just from the outside looking in, again, Sutter, great career, whatever, but there's old philosophies that are not working in the new game. And that's just my opinion, I guess. But there's definitely a lot of things that he could improve that he hasn't. So
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head, and that would be like in a very you summed up in a nutshell how I feel, and it's basically that the game evolves. You got to evolve with it, or you're going to get left behind. That goes for players, that goes for coaches, that goes for everybody. The game is so dynamic; it's changing all the time, and you either have to get on board with that, or like the old philosophy of you got to have they have 13 guys who won a cup last year, and we only have one guy who won a cup last year. That's why they beat us when they lose to the Avs. Excuse me. Is like, man, what's that? What's that mentality? Oh well, Jacob Pelletier is great and Matthew Phillips are great, but they're never gonna be big, so they're never gonna be good. It's like, really? Like Cole Caulfield would like to talk, Johnny Gaudreau would like to talk, Martin St. Louis would like to talk. There's a place for small guys in the game, man. It's just, I don't know. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. We'll read the last few comments here, and then we'll kind of just shoot the shit for a little bit because this was this kind of got taken over by the Sutter quote, which pissed me off. Let's see here. The main issue with Sutter is the team that is. Hold on, sorry, I completely lost that. The main issue with Sutter is the team that is created is not built for his style, and he's trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. That is why Sutter players like Lucic are playing that far too high up. I can agree with that to an extent. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid point. But I also think that Daryl has had a lot of influence on who's come in. I think Daryl's had a lot of influence on what personnel they bring in, like player-wise and stuff like that. So I think there's a little bit more connection between coach and GM in that regard than that would suggest. But I do agree with you. I think that's a really good point. Jets fans here, this has some serious last year Jets vibes. Not playing young players is fine, but watching their value diminish to zero. Yeah, that's a good point. The video of Sutter's response is even worse. I can't wait to watch that. Let's.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you, JJ. Could be worse. You could be the Canucks. That is true. We could be the Vancouver Canucks, which is not a place that anybody wants to be in. I'm sorry to Canucks fans. I'm sorry to our Game Over Vancouver hosts, Clay Mo, Kaya May, Sam Chang. They've had to put on some brave faces and do those streams, man. It's been a rough year over in Vancouver, but all the best to them. I mean, I don't know what the future lies for the Vancouver Canucks, but it's gonna be a story that I'm gonna want to follow, and it's just buckle up.
You're telling me.
That's
oh boy.
That's all I think it's gonna be is buckle up. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I'm gonna refer back to my notes here because we kind of got derailed a little bit. Congratulations to Dylan Dube, 100th point tonight, 100th NHL point on the goal there, the 4-2 goal. Thoughts on Dylan tonight? I think Daryl has come out and said that he's been the most improved player or something along those lines. I think, yeah, I can agree to a point. I think Dubé shows flashes shows flashes of I'm trying here. Yeah, it's hard. Flashes of what he can be, and then he kind of goes cold for a little bit. But your overall thoughts on Dylan Dubé today?
Again, no, it's okay. I probably said tonight already, but
Yeah.
Dube is a really good player. He's the type of depth that you want on any good hockey team. I mean, Dube's a perfect role player to be a guy that can give you that secondary scoring. On the year, 23 points so far. He does a little bit of everything, but again, congratulations. That was something I wanted to bring up, and I love the fact that they announced it in the arena. 100th point, like that's pretty cool.
Beasley does a good job of that. Yeah, he makes sure to hit those.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, like he's a great depth piece. I think that he's a real good hockey player. Sutter seems to be throwing him out there quite often. I think he averages just over 15 minutes of ice time. So, that guy that plays in your middle six there, great
He's playing
hockey
on the
player.
top line.
Yeah, I know, but like he's getting like middle
Oh,
six
yeah.
minutes.
Sorry.
He's getting like middle 6 minutes. So maybe that's something again. I don't want to keep going on Sutter here, but like just looking at time on ice per game, there's a lot of guys that I think should probably be playing higher minutes, and that's the reason why I said depth, because he's not getting those top line minutes. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would expect him hopefully to get some more minutes in order for him to be a top line caliber player. He could produce more. So hopefully he gets those minutes.
Yeah, it's look, that's why I like having you come on, and like people who know hockey and like to talk about hockey, but are from outside the market, because it's nice, it's refreshing to get you know, either put in my place if I'm like completely out to lunch, but like you and I mostly do, we agree on a lot of things when it comes to I'm coming around a little bit more on your um not ref slander, but definitely the refs need some help. I was so pro ref for so long, and now it's like,
Yep.
damn, dude, I'll eat crow. I'll eat my shoe on that one. That was a bad take. Now refs are just running rampant, doing whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
Let's talk quickly before we wrap up. We only have a little bit of time left on Zoom, but quick hit here on the kick, because it wasn't actually kicked in. They re-showed it on the broadcast that a Flame kicked it in. But the interesting part about that was both of us learned today that it's you can't challenge it. It has to come from the situation room. Just a
Yeah.
quick couple, let me know what you think quickly. How do you feel about that? Like, I definitely thought it was a challengeable play.
Yeah, I immediately, again, as a Leaf fan, jumped out of my seat and like started hurling insults at the TV when they didn't challenge. I was like, there's no way that you're gonna let this happen. We were texting back and forth. I was like, there's no way. But hey, I guess they can't challenge. They just get the word if they think it's challengeable, and then the refs go to it. But listen, that was that was something else. I was a little bit surprised there, but hey, they got the call right.
Yeah, they did, which the Situation Room, they're pretty quick on getting stuff out like that. But yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, this should be challengeable, but they did get it right, so I guess it doesn't matter. Again, one quick thing before we wrap up I wanted to ask you about was Dan Vladar. Because you're a goalie. I know
Yep.
you love your goalies. I know you were or you are a goalie. What'd you think of Vladar? He's kind of he's taken not the spot away from Markstrom or anything like that, but a lot of Flames fans at least voicing that he should get more starts. He should play a little bit more, because Markstrom is slumping a little bit this year, as people in the chat have made note of. But what did you think about Vladar?
I've liked Vladar since he's come in. He's a pretty solid goalie. I like the way that he controls himself in the net. Obviously tonight he actually played pretty well. There was at some points in the game where Calgary got hemmed in their own zone, and he had to make some pretty big saves. There's a couple real nice stretching out pad saves that he made, but he just seems like he can control the crease very well. Like he knows how to keep himself calm and get in the right headspace to get the team to win. So he's been playing really well, and ride the hot hand. If he's playing well, if he's winning games, just let him go. Save percentage over 900 on the season. Markstrom is a little bit under that. So if you want to go with the guy with the higher save percentage with a pretty decent goals against average, just keep going with Vladar and see how far he takes you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look, this was great. 61 people watching right now. You guys shattered my expectations. I didn't think anybody was going to tune in to an afternoon stream. This has been great. AP, thank you, brother, as always. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah. So if you want to find me on YouTube, all you got to do is type in Andrew Pillock. If you want to find me on Twitter, at Andy Pillock. Again, shout out to the chat. Thank you. All the Flames fans are just hockey fans in the chat, SDPN fans. It's always awesome to come out here. Got to give a shout out to all the people watching. A lot of my family watches these.
Yeah,
Really cool.
I love
I
it.
send out the link. Shout out to my sister Abby. She was promoting it a lot too. Like
She
always
was,
promotes
yes. It was great.
whenever we do these. So awesome. Thank you so much. And Auddie, thank you for having me on. This is always a fun time. And listen, I love hockey, love talking to Auddie, so it's a bit of both.
It's a win-win.
Here, so
it's a win-win. Same,
big dubs.
and likewise, big dubs.
Big dubs.
Well,
Attaboy, Sutter.
quickly, what we'll do is we'll preview the next game over, which is going to be on Monday. They're playing Columbus in Calgary. Nothing crazy storyline there wise, hey? Oh, wait,
No.
that's right. That Gaudreau guy's coming back. That's right. So,
Who?
yeah, who? Johnny who?
No, I'm just kidding. I love Johnny Hockey. I'm just kidding.
So Johnny Gaudreau returns on Monday at the Scotiabank Saddledome. I will be hosting that one. Quick preview for those in the chat. I will be joined by Nasher to break down the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Calgary Flames here on the SDPN Sports YouTube channel. Thank you to the chat. Thank you. I know there's some good banter going in there right now. A lot of people going back and forth. It's all in good fun. Never take yourself too seriously. Be safe, friends, and I will talk to you guys on Monday for Game Over Calgary against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Be well. We'll talk to you then.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.